All right, so inside veer. So our goal on every play is to take a defender on the line of scrimmage and put him in conflict, regardless of whether that's midline, whether that's inside veer, whether that's outside veer. We're going to leave a guy unblocked on the line of scrimmage, and we're going to make him wrong every single time. So whether he squeezes down and he takes the dive and the quarterback's going to pull it and be on the next level, or whether he runs upfield, then we're going to hand the ball underneath him. So that's just kind of the basis of what we're trying to do on nearly every play. Okay, so then the next down defender is either going to be down blocked or double teamed. So if we're running out of 5 technique and there's a 3 technique underneath him, then our guard and our tackle are going to work that 3 technique, double him to read the 5. All right, and the A-back acts as an extension of our offensive line. Based off the safety look, we'll kind of determine whether we're in a load scheme or whether we're in an alley scheme where we're trying to arc outside and block the safety. We can tag that, but something that I always wind up telling our A-backs is if there's one high, that means there's an extra defender in the box. So, and we'll get to that when we get there. All right, so O-line rules. If we're running inside veer, play side tackle is going to down, he's going to double, or he's going to veer based off the alignment of the defense. All right, so it's really difficult for me to just say, hey, this is what he's going to do every play. He's going to do one of those 3 things. All right, and the play side guard is probably always going to double team because if he has a 3 technique, he's going to double with the tackle. If he has a 2, a head up, a head up defender, he's probably going to double with the tackle. If he has a shade, a guy in the A gap, he's going to double with the center. So I know in one of the other earlier talks, somebody had asked, where would you hide your worst offensive lineman? It would be there because he's pretty much going to double all the time. All right, your center, if he's really, really good or your guards are good and you can get the center on the next level, he's going to block an A gap defender on the play side, or he's going to block an A gap defender on the back side. All right, depending on what the defensive alignment is. And the backside guard is going to double or scoop. We've really kind of eliminated that scoop from our vocabulary. I know a lot of people still use that. When we started telling kids, oh, well, you're scoop blocking, to them, that just meant, all right, I'm just going to run underneath. That didn't help us any. So we started talking about, you're going to block backside backer. You're going to block this. And instead of giving ground and trying to arc underneath the gap inside of them, they kind of pin their ears back and they get going upfield. That's really helped us. So we've, for the most part, eliminated scoop from our vocabulary. We don't really even use that anymore. And then backside tackle doing the same thing. So all double teams are going to be dictated by the defensive alignment. We're constantly up on the board with these kids going, all right, if this is the read, first guy on the outside to play side tackle is the read, then who's the next guy getting doubled? And then we work it back from there. I hope that makes sense. So we're trying to get as many double teams as possible on every single play. All right, if we can double the guy in the B gap and double the guy head up on a center, then we're gonna be a good position. All right, so still shot, looking at a 4-4. This is going to be tough because I don't think you guys can see my mouse. So against a 4-4 run inside veer to the right, our right tackle and our right guard are going to combo that kid in a 3 technique right there. So they're going to double him, and one of them is going to work up to the stack backer over the top of him. The center and the backside guard are going to do the same thing. They're going to double on that guy inside shade of the left guard, and one of them is going to work up to the backside backer. It's a single safety high. So our A-back is going to steal the keys of the defensive end. He's going to swipe right past his outside hip, stay tight to that in case one of those backers arcs over the top of the double team. So his eyes are inside. He's kind of freezing for a second, and then he's going to run the Y to pick up that safety in the middle of the field. So again, hopefully we'll see some good cut-ups of that or clips of that when we get to film. So that's how we block that backside. Okay, and then our backside tackle, he's running hard through that B gap, trying to get to the backside, that backside backer right now. All right, if we need to slow him down because the backside end is squeezing and chasing stuff down flat, then we will. But that's just kind of how our base rule goes. Again, if we're running inside veer to the right, so we've got an odd front, you can see we've already put a tight end in the game. Our alignment is exactly the same with our slot back. He's going to take his inside foot, put it on the outside foot of the tackle. Tight end is in there, so now we've created an extra run gap. These guys have overshifted to the right, so we'd be telling our quarterback, hey, we want to run this to the left. But in this particular case, we're running inside veer to the right. Our tackle is going to veer that number 80 there, the right defensive end. Okay, our tight end is going to go bracket that stack backer. So we're going to work inside out, okay, on this backer on the right side, the right inside backer. The guard automatically is going to step to double the nose. If the nose slants the opposite direction, he's going to work to the backside backer. All right. And then our backside guard and our center are going to work the combo. If the nose guard arcs or slants the opposite direction, one of those guards is going to go account for the backside backer. And then our left tackle is going to try and get underneath that 4-eye or that 5, depending on what you dictate that guy is, run through his inside shoulder pad and get up on the next level. All right. So perimeter rules for us. So our play side wide receiver is going to block the deep defender or the corner unless we tag it otherwise. Okay, he's going to get an outside release. He's going to run 4 or 5 yards hard, see what the corner does. We stopped area reading it. I know there's a lot of people out there that will spend a great deal of time with the slot backs and the wide receivers reading which guy is the run defender and which guy is the deep defender. So meaning the corner might come down on the run and the wide receiver's got to be able to read that, and the A-back has to switch block with him. We'll tag that. I don't want our kids thinking. So usually our play side wide receiver is going to block the corner, and it eliminates any necessary thinking. It allows him to play fast. He can, if he's a heady kid, can start playing games. We'll see him, throw his hand up like he's going vertical, and then the corner kind of freaks out and just stuff like that. All right. So then the play side A is going to do what we call sweeping the alley against 2 high. So if there's 2 safeties high, he's going to step with his outside foot 90 degrees. He's going to step flat, cross over, get width, and I tell him I want him to stare through the soul of the safety. I don't want him to turn his head. I don't want him to look away because he's going to lose him. Stare right at that free safety, drop step crossover, and we want to be as late as possible versus 2 high because that guy's got to come all the way down to us. If we run to him, we're going to have to hold that block for 3 or 4 seconds as opposed to block him at the point of attack for a 1-2 count, and then the ball's already past him. If it's 1 high, then we're going to go to more of a load scheme where we're going to seal inside. We're going to look for the backer inside. If it's single high, then they're in a 4-4 or they're in a 5-3 or they're in something where there's at least 8 guys in the box. We need that A-back to be that adjuster to account for the extra defender inside. All right, and the backside wide receiver is working to cut off the backside safety or cut off the corner if you can't get to the safety. But we're always pressing upon this isn't an opportunity for you to take a play off. You've got to block somebody. All right, so in this particular case, we're looking at a 4-4. Our A-back would be sealing inside. All right, so you've got an 8-man box plus the safety. We're not quite as worried about the safety because somebody's inevitably going to be able to get there, but we're gonna look to help inside. So he's going to steal the keys of the 5 technique for running it to the right side. He's going to basically rip past the dude with his left arm, and then eyes inside looking for the backer. If he scrapes to the top, we're going to block him. If the guy plugs in the A gap or the B gap, then we're running the Y to the safety. So we're going to press vertical and then arc diagonally to the sideline to pick him up. All right. So again, the run the Y. Hopefully I can find a couple good clips for you guys to see that so you understand what we're talking about. When we're talking 2 safeties high, typically if it's a 2 safety high look, then there's a 7-man box. In this particular case, it's a 7-man box with the Mike backer and the outside guys blocked up. We can account for a 7-man box. We can't account for an 8-man box without the A-backs helping. So against 2 high, he's going to drop step. He's going to cross over. He's going to get width, and he's going to block that safety because that safety is going to come down and be the run support defender.